TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute awesome package that comprises brand news, brand focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth analysis aimed at promoting the brand idea. I am Olugbodi. Stay tuned.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
We begin with brand news, where we bring you the latest development around brands and on the field of marketing and advertising in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news. In a significant development, the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria, AAAN, bids farewell to the successful tenure of advertising icon Sir Steve Omajefor, as Mr. Udeme Ufut, MFR, assumes the role of new chairman of the Board of Trustees. The announcement, made by AAAN's president, Steve Babeko, marks a transition towards a new era under Ufut's leadership. Recognizing his notable experience, having previously served as AAAN president and APCON chairman, the association expresses confidence in Ufut's ability to steer the organization towards progress and development. The association also welcomed back Lolu Akinwumi to the Board of Trustees, emphasizing the historic moment of having two former presidents and APCON chairmen concurrently serving on the board. 3 new members, Omowumi Owodoni, Kelechi Nwosu, and Fumi Onobolu, joined the revamped Board of Trustees. As AAAN expressed gratitude to Sir Omajefor for his outstanding contributions, the focus now shifts to an exciting new chapter under the guidance of Mr. Ufut and the revitalized Board of Trustees. The association looks forward to continued progress and success in this new leadership era. In the wake of a challenging 2023, WAC Media has released its anticipated report, The Future of Media 2024, outlining trends shaping media planning, advertising investments, and the media landscape. The report forecast a noteworthy rebound in global advertising spend, set to exceed $1 trillion in 2024, doubling its growth from the previous year. Key contributors to this surge include tech giants Alibaba, Alphabet, Amazon, ByteDance, and Meta, projected to command 51.9% of global advertising spend, with a 10.7% increase in ad revenues. The driving force behind this growth is the widespread adoption of artificial intelligence. However, concerns loom over AI's impact on media quality and the future of open internet advertising. The report delves into the implications of AI-based advertising solutions, emphasizing the trade-offs advertisers may face. Unilever, the global FMC giant, has initiated a review of its worldwide media planning and buying business. Mindshare, which is responsible for managing the account in India, will also participate in the repitch. The last major agency review by the giant company was in 2021, which was the first of such assessment in 3 years. The routine review occurs every 3 years. During the 2021 review, Group M's Mindshare retained the majority of Unilever's media business across key markets, including the US and the UK. In Canada, Omnicom Media Group's PhD network assumed media responsibilities. After a 6-month process, the single business piece of business went to incumbent WPP, with Omnicom Media Group, Interpublic, and Avis Media also winning multiple market assignments. Meanwhile, Unilever Nigeria plc says it has stopped the production and sale of home care and skin cleansing products. This is coming about 10 months after it announced plans to exit both markets. The company disclosed this in its unaudited interim financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2023, sent to the Nigerian Exchange Limited, noting that it has appointed Michael Ipoki as an interim board chairman for Unilever Nigeria PLC, pending the appointment of the substantive chairman of the board. This indicates that Ipoki replaces His Majesty Nnaemeka A. Achebe, Obi of Onitsha, who retired from the board effective 31st December 2023. This is coming months after Unilever Nigeria revealed its intention on March 17, 2023 that it would discontinue production of its home care and skin cleansing brands. In a recent report released by market intelligence firm Model Intelligence, the Nigerian telecom market is poised for significant growth, with a projected value of $11.43 billion by the year 2029. The report indicates a steady cumulative average growth rate of 4.70% expected between 2024 and 2029, building upon the current market value of $9.09 billion. Key factors contributing to this optimistic projection include the substantial transformation witnessed in Nigeria's telecom sector over recent years, driven by government initiatives aimed at bolstering internet infrastructure and broadband connectivity. The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) revealed that active mobile subscriptions in the country reached 220.3 million as of August 2023, with internet service subscriptions standing at 159 million during the same period. That was brand news. Next is Branding Focus, right after the break.
Your flight will be ready shortly, ma'am.
Thank you. Breakfast in Paris. Lunch in London. This could be you. And there's more. Hey, Mai, tell them more.
Of course. Now this is what I call a win. And this could be you too in the Globe Festival of Joy promo.
By recharging 50,000 naira or more within a month, you could be among our 100 winners who will win business class tickets from Lagos to Paris to London. If you recharge 100,000 naira or more in a month, you could be one of the many winners of a premium bungalow in Nigeria. The more you recharge, the more your chances to win.
How was your flight?
Delicious.
Glow Unlimited.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Now on Branding Focus. The rise of internet users' penetration in Nigeria has provided a veritable business environment for digital marketing and e-commerce businesses to thrive tremendously. Digital marketing, which enables online marketers to promote their brands and connect with both existing and potential customers through the use of internet and other means of digital communication, has steadily witnessed a significant surge since 2001, when the Nigerian Communications Commission granted a full license to about 150 internet service providers across the country. This development gave rise to the evolution of social media, which enables people to build a boundless connection and interface regularly with one another, consequently leading to the boom of e-commerce and online marketing. Either for business transactions, communication, or socializing, the internet is a multifaceted sphere of technology that stands as a towering monument of human creativity and collaboration. Its usage has therefore remained indispensable for millions of people, not only in Nigeria but also across the world, resulting in the consistent upsurge of digital marketing and online businesses such as fintech, e-teaching, freelancing, blogging, dropshipping, YouTube, and many others. According to a recent research by Statista, internet users' penetration in Nigeria has steadily grown by 2% since 2018. As of 2023, the figure was put at 122 million users, and the trend is projected to witness a steady growth by 2% till 2027. The improvement and expansion have reportedly created a robust opportunity for digital marketing to thrive in the country. In 2024, ad spend in the digital advertising market is projected to reach $272.4 million, while video advertising is considered to be the largest market with a volume that is expected to hit $115.1 million. It is further revealed that Nigerian businesses spent $111.2 billion on social media advertising in 2023. And in 2024, the figure is expected to reach $118.6 billion, which is literally confirmed the value and efficacy of digital marketing in Nigeria. This booming activity in the industry could not have been possible without the surge of internet users' penetration, which provides the enablement for businesses to inform the market about their brands and entice customers to purchase their goods and services. The internet, powered by mobile phones and other technological devices, has remained a crucial vehicle that provides the reach for advertising, promotional, and public relations efforts. As internet users' penetration continues to experience a surge in the days, months, and years ahead, digital marketing and e-commerce business will continue to constitute a major dominance in the economic landscape. Welcome back. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have discussions with industry thought leaders who have distinguished themselves in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. Today we'll be having the concluding part of our conversation with the Managing Director and Group CEO of Verdant Zeal Communications Limited, Dr. Tunji Olugbodi, right after the break.
Where is Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello? Where Glow now?
I didn't hear you.
Glow don't go village, tell all our customer abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow dedicated 10x.
Now he might take tension my customers.
Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah.
Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you they enjoy up to
15,000 naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See, when I say if we enjoy, if we not join Glow dedicated 10x, when I go get 1,000 naira welcome credits. Finish.
Glow, you don't win.
Una see they here.
Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow.
Please save now Glow we they find. Now Glow we they go.
Okay, so
Enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow Berekete 10X. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Let us talk about Zeal. Now, tell our viewers about an overview of your company's offerings and how it stands out, knowing very well that there is a stiff competition out there.
All right. So when we started about 16, 17 years ago, what we did was to try and establish what the market needs, and that from the basis of of our offerings. So we didn't start out like your classic advertising company, because almost anybody can offer advertising. Anybody can, even then, everybody can offer copy and all of that. But three things that stood out was that whatever solutions people are looking for must be on time. So because you are talking about speed to market, not just route to market. Whatever people are talking about or what they need must also be on budget. Because at the end of the day, everything, no matter how brilliant your ideas are, must always be something that can be operated within a reasonable budget. So we always bear that in mind in terms of cost effectiveness. And of course, the third thing is also the issue of strategy. What strategy does for you is that it helps you to plan and project, not just for the now, but for the medium and to the long term. So fundamentally, we are driven by what we call Autobus, which is on time, on budget, and on strategy. And that still hasn't changed, on time, on budget, on strategy. If you're on time, it means that no matter how brilliant what you're doing is, it meets a certain requisition that helps that product or service to get to the market on time. Because again, you have situations where you have very brilliant ideas, but you are late to the party. On budget, of course, means that again you are within the confines of what can make it work. And the strategy means that you're not just thinking of the now, you are thinking of a much well-established route that makes the whole idea around that product or service sustainable and relatable. And that's all been our mantra. But we also realize that what people need more are like business partners rather than just solution providers. Because again, end to end, many people are able to balkanize some of these solutions and say, we do this, we do this, we do this. But when you're a partner, what you're able to do is not just to be able to make a diagnostics and also make a prescription, but you're also able to do some level of hand-holding. Now, the hand-holding is always the most difficult part because most often than not, the track sometimes that you suggest is unbeaten, it's untaken, and it's difficult to sustain, it's difficult to navigate. And that's where we tend to come in. So what we've done over the years is to be able to combine all of this and to make sure that we focus more on building relationships and not building transactions. Transactions can come and go. And of course, there are one or two situations where you just do something for people and then, they leave. But when you build relationships, what they are doing is that we are focusing on values. And when you focus on values, what it means is that those values remain constant even if the specifics of the offerings change. But the values are always time-tested and always extended for extended periods of time.
Okay, great. So I know you said that you didn't start out as a classic advertising
agency.
So but what was VZ's corporate mission and vision at the inception?
Again, we try not to, we do have a vision, we do have a mission, which we have also retooled, I think, once or twice. But right now, our vision basically is to create values for those who value, we bring value to those who appreciate value. So whatever your values are in terms of your business position and orientation, that's what we try to do. But in greater terms, in terms of the mission, it's really about business transformation. Again, we're looking at what is timeless. And what this helps us to do is to aggregate everything, that the interplay between the nexus of being a classic advertising agency, whether you're designing a corporate material, you're writing copy, you're doing media strategy, PR, or whatever, to what you need to be able to position properly in the minds of people that makes you much more resonant and sustainable from a content point of view. So for us, it's really about business transformation when it comes to the mission. And we also now realize that because we play an increasing global role, our decision is not just to Nigeria. So in fact, when we started, within a couple of years, we had operations across West Africa. And we also see our partnerships, strategic ones across different places in Africa. What we have realized increasingly is that many of those places, you do not need to have boots on ground in terms of your operations, but you need to have collaborations and partnerships, sometimes that are project-focused or project-initiated. But in more recent past, a lot of our efforts have gone into content, designing content, producing content, warehousing content for different clients. It's a slow burn in the sense that, again, from the classic advertising perspective, that's not what you're called to do. But from the relativity of a lot of the things that we've done in the past, it's always been about that. Some people might do it better because that's what they started and are recognized for. But because the value that you bring that surrounds the building of that content is a lot more than just what people see and consume. There's a strategy behind it. So yours is a lot more enduring. So it might come out as an event, might come out as a lifestyle product, might come out as and experiential, whatever it is that the way it comes out, we are best suited not just to initiate that idea, but also to execute it with the right partners and collaboration in place.
Great. So talking about clients, partners, and collaborations now, what are some of the landmark campaigns and clients managed and executed by VZ?
So if you check back in history, we have never had to talk about clients. We have never had to talk about campaigns. And again, the understanding from that is that you go to a KPMG, to an Arthur Andersen, to a McKinsey and say, oh, so please tell us some of your clients. And then they will start telling you, oh, that I work for this, work for this, work for this. No. It will only come out as part of a process of expression of interest that's confidential between you and that client. So that consulting orientation we've always had from day one. So if people see and know the clients that we work with and work for, then that's fine. But we are not one to now start saying to, oh, so yes, I work for Nigerian Breeze, or I work for First Bank, or I work for GT Bank, or I work for Fidelity Bank. It's not likely to happen because the more respectable consulting organizations are not treated that way.
Okay. In short form, let's say VZ does not want to blow its own trumpet.
I don't think it's just about wanting to blow your own trumpet. I think it's about the depth of understanding that you have in the value that you bring to the table. And that value doesn't have to do. So the same way that you say, oh, I have this as a client, when they move on, you also come to announce to the world that they moved on. And they do have a right to move on. But if you go back to the issue of value, it should be that clients can come and go, but the value that established the relationship that you have between you and them remains evergreen. That's the way that we see it. And, if you also understand the dynamics of client-agency relationship, there's many things that regulate it. But what we try always to focus on will be the strength of the characterization that we bring to that relationship that's based on value. So you are not likely, number one, you're not likely to take on a client or a responsibility that we do not respect. And what it means to that extent that even where we need to part ways in that relationship, it's not only mutual, but it's born out of respect for each other. So you're not likely to have heard us talk about a client or a relationship that headed south so much that it becomes an acrimony. No. We always modify our expectations when it comes to that. And we always want to guard those relationships very, very jealously. Is it an industry-wide practice? The answer is probably no. Is it a notion that's always fully respected? Probably it's not. It's a mixed bag. But that's the way we have chosen to do our own business.
Okay, great. So let's move from VZ to who is Dr. Tunji Olugbodi. Our viewers would like to know.
I'm just somebody who tries to do his best on a day-to-day basis and operating with a set of principles that I think has guided me over the years. And just to do my own little modest, contribution to the growth of the business, to the growth of the nation. So I have a multidisciplinary orientation. I've always been that way. When I started out as a career, I started in media. I started out as a journalist with The Guardian, and then I went into copywriting, and then I went into client service, and I went into strategy, and and the rest is history.
And just before I let you go, one last question. What would you say is your favorite industry mantra of all times?
Do I really have one? No, I don't have one. I try not to pigeonhole myself. I try not to pigeonhole myself. The same way that I approach the issue of mentorship. I'm not a one mentor person. I have several mentors that I just basically watch their lifestyle, watch their contribution, watch their orientation. So I'm not a one mantra person.
Okay, so if there was one mantra that you could leave us with, our viewers, what would that be?
I think I already mentioned it, to be honest with you. What takes you there does not keep you there. More than any other thing for me.
What takes you there does not keep you there.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely informative and educative speaking with you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
And that's the much we can take on this week's episode of Marketing Edge on TV. Join us same time next week for another informative episode. I'm Olugbodi. Bye for now.
Albert Chinua Lumogu Achebe was born November 16, 1930 in Ogidi, Nigeria. He went to Government College in Umuahia, Nigeria. In 1948, Achebe won a scholarship to the University of Ibadan to study medicine, but after a year, he changed his major to writing. After graduation in 1953, he became a script writer for the Nigerian Broadcasting Service, NBS, eventually becoming the head programmer for the discussion series. In 1956, he visited London for the first time to take a training course with the BBC. On returning, he moved to Enugu and edited and produced stories for the NBS. Achebe was unhappy with books about Africa written by British authors such as Joseph Conrad and John Buchan because he felt the descriptions of African people were inaccurate and insulting. In his spare time, he worked on Things Fall Apart. The novel was published in 1958. The book won immediate international recognition and also became the basis for a play. His second book, No Longer at Ease, published in 1960, is set in the last decade before Nigeria achieved independence. In 1961, Chinua Achebe met and married Christiana Chinwe Okoli, and they eventually had 4 children. The third book in the African trilogy, Arrow of God, was published in 1964. Achebe published his fourth novel, A Man of the People, in 1966. The novel tells the story of the widespread corruption of Nigerian politicians and ends in a military coup. During the Biafra conflict, Achebe's house was bombed and his friend Christopher Okim was killed. Achebe and his family went into hiding in Biafra and then fled to Britain for the duration of the war. From 1972 to 1976, Achebe held a visiting professorship in African literature at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. After that, he returned again to teach at the University of Nigeria. He became chair of the Association of Nigerian Writers and edited Uwandi Igbo, a journal of Igbo life and culture. Although he wrote many essays and kept involved with the writing community, Achebe did not write another book until 1988's Anthills of the Savannah. In 1990, Achebe was involved in a car crash in Nigeria, which damaged his spine so badly he was paralyzed from the waist down. Bard College in New York offered him a teaching job and the facilities to make that possible, and he taught there from 1991 to 2009. In 2009, Achebe became a professor of African Studies at Brown University. In 2012, he published the essay, There Was a Country, a personal history of Biafra. Achebe won the Man Booker International Prize for his life's work in 2007 and received more than 30 honorary doctorates. He remained critical of the corruption of Nigerian politicians, condemning those that stole or squandered the nation's oil reserves. In addition to his own literary success, he was a passionate and active supporter of African writers. However, Achebe died in Boston, Massachusetts on March 21, 2013 after a brief illness. He is credited with changing the face of world literature by presenting the effects of European colonization from the point of view of Africans. He specifically wrote in English, a choice that received some criticism, but his intent was to speak to the whole world about the real problems that the influence of Western missionaries and colonialists created in Africa. His life was an inspiration and sentimental to Western culture, promoting customs and values about traditional African society.